Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Lisa with Lisa's Faith and Budget Planning channel. I'm excited to be here today. I'm excited to be here with you getting into Paycheck 2 closeout and Paycheck 3 setup. So Paycheck 2 is done and finished and I need to get everything prepared for Paycheck 3. We're going to do the balance forward. We're going to do the salary that's going to be deposited, and we're going to put all the amounts of what we have left in the budget that needs to be taken care of, all the bills as well as our variable expenses. But I need to know how much money balanced forward from Paycheck 2 to Paycheck 3. So let's go ahead and dive into the numbers. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm excited to have you here. I'm excited to kind of share how my process works and how it helps me stay on track month to month, week to week, paycheck to paycheck for my budget. It just helps me so much to stay on track with these things, and having it decorated very pretty kind of helps along the way. Keeps me coming back wanting to look at it, because the hardest thing to look at is your bank account when you really aren't happy with it. So I get that feeling. So right now I am ready to close out my Paycheck 2. Now, we had estimated last time when I set up Paycheck 2 an amount of $1,662.57 that we would be balancing over. I needed a minimum of $1,700, I think, or a minimum of $176. I'm sorry, not $1,087 to balance forward. So that's really good. I wrote this note after I filmed, and so that was to let me know that if I was going to use Paycheck 2, how much money I really needed to have in there. So there's a few things that did change. My electric bill has not been paid yet. It has not been auto draft. It's actually going to auto draft in Paycheck 3. So I had it under the budgeting. I'm going to put 0 here and then include it in Paycheck 3, which I think I've already kind of got marked in here, electric. So I went ahead and put it over here. And I have it as a fix because I already know the exact number on that. These are my variables. So we're going to fill in exactly what I spent in all these spending categories. An additional variable, we didn't know how much it was going to be until we actually had it happen. And that was my chiropractor, mine and my husband's chiropractor. And then I usually just total both of ours together. So that's for 2 people. And then the emergency fund here, I did move money to the emergency fund because we had extra income I was not expecting to come in. So let's go over the income section and find out why we had extra income. Okay, so as you can see here, balance forward from Paycheck 1 to 2, we had $1,916.39. I'm going to grab my calculator and start adding these numbers up. See if I can do this without getting it too bright of a light. There we go. And so let's go ahead and put that number in, $916.39. And we're going to add my husband's every other Friday salary check. So that is $2,552.36. And then we're going to add this $400. There we go. That $400 was actually a state tax rebate from our 2022 taxes from the state of Virginia, from when we did our taxes and lived in Virginia. So that will probably be the last time we get a rebate like that. But it just kind of popped into our checking account, just this extra deposit, $400 out of nowhere. Because I don't live in Virginia, I don't get their news. I didn't get the memo that this was going to happen. So we were lucky. We got an extra $400, which was great because we were on vacation. We actually didn't use it. You'll see down here at the bottom, you'll see where we put it. $4,868.75. All right, that was that. So that's what went up here, and basically it just changed that 4 to an 8. So yeah, that's right. So now we're going to focus down here at the bottom. So we already know our fixed expenses. This did change, but I did change this number to match it. But I'm going to run the math just in case I didn't change it. It looks like I did, but I want to make sure. I put $22.99, which is the amount but where we live, there's also taxes included, and I wasn't going to find that out until how much that was going to be until it actually processed, and it already processed. So we are good to go to find that out. And it was $24.92 for YouTube. And that's why I have this little arrow here, just to kind of remind me, hey, the amount went up compared to what you had before. So I'm going to go ahead and retotal this up and make sure I got the right number at the bottom. Okay, so we have $1,178.70. That is excellent. We are good to go there. Now we're going to fill in all this to know where we stand in Paycheck 2 as far as our spending goes. So where I get my numbers, and I have them off to the side, but I'll just show you where I get my numbers for spending, is my weekly check-in. So I can take grocery household, which is this first line here, plus this grocery household for week 2, which both fell under Paycheck 2, 173.99 plus 367.17, and that gives me the total that we spent for the week, for the paycheck period of Paycheck 2, and that will give me the numbers that I need to know how much is left out of what I plan to spend and what I actually spent. So that's what we're looking for here. Flip this back for you. We're going to write those numbers in. So for grocery household, I did not spend all $800. I spent $541. Oops, I didn't mean to put that there. $16. There we go. For restaurants, I spent in total $202.35. And then miscellaneous, I spent total for the 2 weeks $255.94. Gasoline, we spent $104.51. And then we had copay, we had 0 copay. And then we had unbudgeted $39.03. There we go. And then we had this $95 and then this $400. So again, normally I budget $70 for Dr. Odell, but this time it was $70 for both me and my husband combined. Plus I paid another additional $25 so that I can cover the cost of the reevaluation that I have done. So I did have that, and everything looks good, and we kind of tweaked my programming for what I need to do at home, as well as what we're doing at the chiropractor for adjustments and things like that. So it was good to have that checkup every 3 months. So now I'm going to go ahead and total this column here of variable expenses, and I'm going to take the actual income minus the fixed and the actual variable, and we're going to come up with a balance forward to Paycheck 3. It just means this is what's left in the bank account after bills and spending have already been paid for. All of these spending that you see here, I've already paid for it. I just did my weekly check-in the previous video, and once I find out what I owe the credit card, that's what I pay the credit card with the checking account, and then I just start fresh every week. So it's one way of keeping activity on the credit card as well as keeping it paid off. It's just you working with the money you actually have in your bank account and not seeing it as something extra. So there we go. Let's go ahead and total these numbers up, and I will be right back. Okay, I am showing very close to what I had originally. That's amazing. Look at that. So this says $1,665.66. Hopefully I did the math right. If I didn't, I'm going to have to recalculate that. So let's see if I did do the math right, because I already kind of have the totals off to the side. Oh goodness. It helps to do the math ahead of time so I can get through the video a lot easier. All right, so we have $4,868.75 for our income, and we're going to take out the $1,178.70 for our fixed expenses, and then we're going to take out the $1,665.66, and that's going to give me exactly what I need, $2,024.39. This is what my checking account says, and this is everything that is in the checking account before Paycheck 3 hit. I'm actually filming this the Thursday, the day before my husband gets paid. I do see the pending deposit coming, and I already know I can set up Paycheck 3 without an issue because I know how much Paycheck 3 is going to be, but it hasn't quite hit the bank account. So this $2,024.39 actually is the amount that's sitting in my checking account, or our checking account, my husband and I, went the night before his salary deposit hits. So that is what I want to find. That's what I want to see, because this represents our checking account. I want to make sure that stays in balance with what the checking account actually says, and I am on track. So I can just kind of throw this little guy away over here, and I'm going to write down this number. I'm going to put BF here for balance forward, and I'm going to take this balance and move it forward into Paycheck 3. $439. Now the reason I needed so much of this sitting here is I needed to cover all the bills based on how the paycheck laid out, paychecks for the entire month laid out for November, because we got so much cash in the beginning of the month. It wasn't spread out like it normally was. So I had more bills covered under Paycheck 3, so I need to make sure enough of that money from the beginning of the month covered all this, as well as Paycheck 3's normal bills. So most of that on Paycheck 3 over here normally would be on 2, but that's okay. That's just how the paychecks fell, and that's how it works. So there you go. So now I'm going to go ahead and we're going to take that number again, and I'm going to write it under the estimate, but it's still an actual. So I'll get that over here again. $2,024.39. All right, my husband's salary is like $1.70 some different, less than normal, and I don't know if that's adjustment for the taxes or something this year or what. And that's fine. I mean, it was just a couple dollars, less than $2, but I do need him to pull up his pay stub for this time period to make sure there's nothing really off that I should be concerned about. If it's taxes, there's nothing you can do about that. So $2,550.61. It's normally $2,552.36, so it's a little bit off there, and that's okay. And then I'm going to put 0 because I'm not expecting any extra income, so I'm not going to worry about that right now. So now we're just going to kind of come over here and fill in these columns here to represent what the budget amount's going to be, and make sure we have enough getting us to the end of the month. What is the amount left in the checking account, which is considered the buffer or whatever you want to call it, that will be sitting there, and I hope by the end of the month it will still be there, but unlikely because it's Christmas spending time, it's Black Friday, it's Cyber Monday. So even though I have money put aside for Christmas, I can definitely use the buffer, the checking account that I normally would just put into savings for things for Christmas, though I don't know if I'm going to use it or not. So I haven't quite decided. We're just going to see how everything turns out. We're not traveling for Thanksgiving. Nobody's coming to our house for Thanksgiving, so we're not going to be spending a whole lot extra when it comes to Thanksgiving. But when it comes to Christmas, for family of 4 adults, what do we want to do? What are the expectations? So that is what I'm trying to gear my sons up to help me with on what they want, and my husband. And I think it's just going to be a low-key year this year, just because really we're not really needing a whole lot and wanting to get a whole lot, and we're not wanting to leave a whole lot either. So we might just save the money and keep it in the account for travel over the spring and summer. So we'll see. Let's go ahead and total these two numbers together, and that'll give me our total income Almost forgot to do this. So I already got the first number here, $2,550.61. All right. Oh, an even number here. Look at that. $4,575. All right. Now, if anything changes, now these two numbers aren't going to change, but if any extra income comes in, I can put it right there. If not, I'm not going to worry about it. So we are going to start here with my Roth IRA. So I am fully funded for 2023. I fund my Roth every January for the past couple of Januaries, 2 or 3 Januaries, last 2 Januaries. And so that stays funded, and I save up for the next year's Roth IRA. So if I was contributing into a Roth that wasn't fully funded, then this would be a Roth IRA contribution. But right now I'm just saving it and then dumping it all in the beginning of the next year. And the Roth for 2024, next year, Roth IRA, I'm allowed to contribute $7,000. So that's great. I get to add more and more than I had the previous years. My first time was $6,000, second time was $6,500. Now we're up to $7,000. So I'm trying to keep up with that number and those amounts and contribute as much as I can. This year it's $171 every time my husband has a paycheck period. And there we go. Now my husband gets personal money. He puts it on a prepaid card. We call it Visa Go card because it's called a Visa Go card. And it's $200. And the prepaid card has no fees attached to it, so he can use exactly that amount, which is good. Sinking funds, which are things that I save out small amounts throughout the entire year, and I total all those small amounts up to one amount. And it's not something I show very frequently. If you'd like a video on sinking funds, let me know. I'm thinking about doing annual videos, like annual budgets and stuff like that, and for December, so those may be coming. If you are interested in what an annual budget looks like sinking funds or your monthly budgets as an annual budget, let me know, and I would definitely love to put a video together like that. So sinking funds this year, or this month, $397.70. It's gone down a little bit. I've changed and kind of fine-tuned my sinking funds. I actually got rid of a couple of them and reallocated the money in other places. Life insurance is $87.56. Tithe to our church is $2.56. Discovery Plus is $8.99. That went up $2, I think. Apple.com, which is phone storage, is $2.99. USCCA is my husband's, and that is $39.17. And then Vivint is our home security system, and that is $65.82. And then our electric didn't come out last time, but it will come out this time on the 17th when Paycheck 3 starts. So it's $137.74. So that is all the fixed expenses. Sorry about that. I had to look at my numbers again. I was in disbelief with what I was looking at, so I had to make sure I did it right. So I'm actually and I keep forgetting this is a 2-week full paycheck period. Paycheck 3 is normally not. And so when I saw the number, I thought, oh, this number is really large. But I have plenty of money, apparently, for a grocery household. That is $1,058.84. And it is correct. So I'm ready to go there. Let's see. I have $297.65. I have miscellaneous, $244.06 here. And gasoline, I have $195.49. Copay is, what is copay? $100. And I have budgeted for $0. So my husband and I have counseling that we also do together, and which is great. We absolutely love going in there. We're learning a lot. It's helping a lot, and it's a great way to keep your marriage fine-tuned, and that's what we do it for. That is going to be $70, and that is definitely going to happen in this paycheck period, so I'm just going to leave $70 right here. My original numbers do not have $70, so I'm going to have to calculate that again. But we'll get to that in just a second. All right, there we go. So now it's time to do the totals and find out how much money is left over at the end of the month and what is available, and if I need to use any of that, or if I should use any of this money for purchases of Christmas and things like that. So it should be a decent amount. Where it's a low-key month, mainly because we were on vacation, and during vacation we just used savings to cover a lot of our spending. It left a lot more room in the budget than normal. So let's go ahead and total these numbers, and I'll be right back. Okay, so the numbers are in, and I'm ready to calculate what the total is going to be in potential savings. I need my sticky notes, so where do they go? So I'm going to use my Erin Condren sticky notes here because I got to get it used up. I've had these for quite a while actually, but they're still very good and sticky, so I'm going to put that right here. I'll put our potential savings, and then when I close out the month of November, I'll put the actual savings in, and we'll be good to go. And my actual savings actually does go to savings. Any cash left over at the end of the month goes into our money market account. So there we have that. And let's go ahead and total these numbers up. I don't know why I keep putting my notebook in the center when I have to calculate and try to avoid the glare. Okay, $4,575 minus the $1,366.97 minus the $1,966.04. That's funny. They both had 66 in them. There we go. And that leaves $1,241.99. So this is where the prioritizing comes. I know I have enough in grocery household. I have over $1,000 to get me through Thanksgiving and to the end of the month. So we are good to go there. Let me write this number on this little sticky note. 1,241.99. Okay, so I know that's my potential savings, but it also gives me permission to consider other things that we might need, that we might want, coming up in December, coming up after Thanksgiving and all the spending. There is breathing room here for us, but to be cautious and kind to the budget to make sure that we have enough going into December as well. We don't have to, we don't actually take this amount and put it in December's budget, but if we needed it for any reason because, you know, we just really enjoyed our spending, then yeah, that is there. So I think at the end of this month, I'm going to say we will probably have, I'd like to have a goal of $600, half of this, $600 left to put into savings, and no more than $600 spent in the budget for like Christmas and all the things. So I think that's what I want to go into this paycheck period thinking about, and making sure that we are covered with this extra money by the end of the month. So if I do any unbudgeted or extra money above and beyond, outside of what we already saved for Christmas fund and all that stuff, then at least I know we have the money here. So that's what I have for you today. And that is the setup of Paycheck 3. The next time I do this, I will have a weekly check-in. I think that's how the calendar goes. Let's take a look. So here we are today, payday. So I'll have one weekly check-in. That'll go up on Friday, the 24th. And then I will close out the month here on the 30th. and get that up on the 30th as well. And usually the last day of the month. Even if I spend that day, I count it for the next month and just call it a no spend day so that I can get the video done. So I will close out the budget, set everything up, and have that done. That'll be the weekly check-in and close out of Paycheck 3 on the 30th. So that's the 3 videos, and hopefully I'll have a December monthly budget ready to go as well. So yeah. That is everything I have for you right now. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Have an amazing and blessed day. Bye.